You know what, guys? I'm just sad that everybody involved in Overwatch League who have poured their heart and soul into the project, the players, the staff, the coaches, the production, everybody involved in it. I am so sorry what is going on right now through no fault of their own. All right, guys, so if you thought I had good Overwatch news for you, well, no, I don't. I've got more bad news when it comes to Overwatch. We are going to go over the patch notes, though, in this video as well, but stay tuned for that, because the first thing we need to cover is this, and I want to start off with this tweet from Zoe. Now, you guys all know who Zoe is. She is the presenter of Overwatch League, but she's been involved in Overwatch esports and just Overwatch since the game began. You know, I remember back in 2017, the first anniversary event of Overwatch going to Germany. Zoe was the host of that. I mean, she has been around forever. She hosted, I believe, the Atlantic Showdown, or she was involved in the Atlantic Showdown. But basically, you know who she is, right? And look at this tweet. It really is gut-wrenching, just like she says. Nothing quite like a stroll in the sun, a delicious iced coffee, and the gut-wrenching feeling of being collateral damage of something completely out of your hands. Happy Thursday, friends. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what's going on? Well, of course, it took me about 5 seconds to see what was going on. And again, it is more issues for Overwatch League. So we're going to jump to this. It's the Washington Post, extremely credible source. We get this title. Amid harassment lawsuit, Coca-Cola, State Farm pull back from Blizzard's Overwatch League. Now, you might remember me saying in a previous video, talking about T-Mobile pulling out the other week, saying, I can't see Coke pulling out because Bobby's on the board. Surely you can do something about that. This being Bobby Kotick, who's in charge of Activision Blizzard. Anyway, it seems that that might not be the case. So if we just run through this article, you'll see that, I've got to put this out there straight away. These sponsors have not terminated their contract. T-Mobile has terminated their contract. Coke and State Farm, they haven't. They're just stepping back. Now, what that means, who knows, right? This could be just corporate speak for we're distancing ourselves and then we're cutting off instead of immediately cutting off. It could also be an issue with the contracts. These things have highly complex contracts when it comes to the way sponsors interact with leagues and stuff like that. It's going to be very detailed. And of course, it looks like what T-Mobile have done, have gone ahead and said, hey, we're going to terminate our contract because of what you've got going on. And they obviously had a clause to do that. Maybe Coke and maybe State Farm didn't have that, or maybe they're just waiting around to see what happens. Well, here's the article. Coca-Cola and State Farm are reassessing partnerships with Activision Blizzard's Overwatch League, according to statements provided by both companies. The news comes 2 weeks after the state of California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing sued the video game giant over allegations of widespread harassment and discrimination against female employees at the company. Activision Blizzard runs the Overwatch League and the Call of Duty League, two esport ventures which organise competitions around those respective first-person shooter titles. Coca-Cola and State Farm are 2 of 7 sponsors currently listed on the Overwatch League website. So I do have the Overwatch League website open, and if we jump towards this, you know, this always gets me. It's like a super busy website when I get there. It's like, wow. But yeah, so we scroll down, and there was a section on this website, which was the T-Mobile MVP or vote section, which actually was left over after they removed the sponsors, but now that is gone from the site as well. So T-Mobile are out of this. But yeah, you can see the sponsors here, right? So Xfinity, IBM, Coca-Cola are now stepping back. State Farm are now stepping back. Cheez-It, Grooves, Wavy, and TeamSpeak. We'll come back to these in a second because there's also another massive sponsor, which we should probably talk about. And eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed this tab I've got open in my browser because we'll get onto that in a second. So brand deals with big companies bleed into all parts of the league's matchday production. There are sponsored player rankings powered by IBM, well-placed red Coca-Cola cups next to commentators, and quick-rolling advertisements that run between the action in a match. The partnerships are a key way for the league and Activision Blizzard to bring in revenue alongside broadcasting rights and franchise fees. In 2 statements provided to the Post this Thursday, a spokesman for State Farm said the insurance provider is re-evaluating our limited marketing relationship with the Overwatch League. So you can see already in that language, they're saying our limited marketing relationship. And this is State Farm. And I don't know whether you guys have watched Overwatch League recently, but there is a ton of State Farm integrations. They've got their own segments. They've got their own like adverts that are constantly playing. And they call it limited. So they're already using language to distance themselves. We're not that much of a part of this. We're limited, you know. So that makes me worried. And the company has requested that no advertisements run during the matches this weekend. State Farm first became a sponsor of the Overwatch League in 2019. So they're not completely gone. This is the thing we have to really highlight here because I've been seeing a lot of stuff, especially on Reddit, where people are like, it's just gone. They're gone. They're not gone yet, That could be wishful thinking, expecting them to remain in the league. A spokesperson for Coca-Cola said Wednesday that the company is aware of the allegations surrounding Activision Blizzard and that they've been closely monitoring the situation. We're working with our partners at Blizzard and we take a step back for the moment to revisit future plans and programs, the statement reads. The spokesperson for Coca-Cola declined to comment on whether Coca-Cola would continue to sponsor the Overwatch League. The next Overwatch League match is scheduled for Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Both Coca-Cola and State Farm ran advertisements in Overwatch League matches earlier this week. The Overwatch League and Activision Blizzard did not respond to repeated requests for comment. That's standard, right? They're in a really bad position right now, so they will not be making public statements because they don't want to make it worse, especially what happened after JL and Bragg, Fran Townsend, and all those statements that came out, which were terrible. Anyway, the lawsuit against Activision Blizzard is one of the world's biggest video game companies, alleges multiple instances of gender-based discrimination, inequality, and harassment. Last week, Activision Blizzard employees staged a workout outside of the headquarters of Blizzard Entertainment, known for its massively popular titles like World of Warcraft and Overwatch. And then it just goes into a bit of detail on JL and Brat leaving, and then T-Mobile leaving, and then we do get a little bit of info here on the Call of Duty League. T-Mobile have pulled out of that. But it says last weekend, New York Subliners, which is a Call of Duty League team, one of the 12 Call of Duty League teams, covered the T-Mobile logo on their jerseys with duct tape. And the company is no longer listed as a partner on the league's website. That's kind of embarrassing if it's on your shirt and you have to cover it up. That's like, this is getting really dodgy. And then there is a bit of a shout out to PlatChat, which I did reference in my other video about T-Mobile. Apparently those guys are still talking with T-Mobile and that might go forward. Because PlatChat isn't affiliated with Blizzard, right? That would be like me being sponsored by T-Mobile. I'm not Blizzard, right? But it gets a little bit muddy with PlatChat because there are people that go on the show that are employees of Blizzard. And, a lot of the guys on it are also casters for Overwatch League. So I don't know. But I wish those guys the best and I hope they do still keep that sponsor. Right then. So, yeah, this is not great. This is really, really not great for Overwatch League. This could be the start of it just really tanking into oblivion. But here's the thing, right? This is the thing. This is the deal that brought all of Blizzard's stuff to YouTube. This is not necessarily a good thing either, but if you guys remember, back when Overwatch League began, Twitch paid $90 million for the broadcast rights for the league, which is a lot of money. But remember, at the time, everyone was thinking it could be the next biggest thing. There was tons of investment. It was a bit ridiculous. Loads of money was getting thrown into it, and it was a completely unproven esport at that level. But what they did know, and what we know, is Overwatch as a game is amazing and people love it, but maybe they wouldn't enjoy the esports as much, or maybe they would. So it's still a bit of a gamble. Anyway, the Twitch deal collapses, and then what Blizzard do is a deal with YouTube to put everything exclusively on YouTube, which caused a ton of problems. Because really, you want your esport on Twitch, if I'm totally honest. Yeah, YouTube's actually technically got a better player. You can rewind it, and I think it's better for just coming in. You don't miss stuff, basically. If you go and get a drink in the middle of a match, you can rewind the game and then fast forward through the ad breaks. It's amazing. You can't do that on Twitch. You've just got to watch it live, which is annoying. But still, you should probably be on Twitch. Anyway, this is a deal that is apparently valued at $160 million. Now, it's for more than 1 or 2 seasons. It's a long deal, this is. But the danger here is YouTube go, you know what? We don't want to be associated with you because T-Mobile don't want to be associated with you. Coke don't want to be associated with you. And State Farm. Now, State Farm is a weird one to maybe people like me who live outside of the United States, but it's an absolutely massive insurance provider. And even you could even say, like, look at the sponsors Overwatch League used to have. They used to have Toyota as a sponsor, and that's no longer a sponsor. So obviously money has been sort of pulling out of the league for a while. But this is the danger. If this goes, what the hell happens then? Because surely this is money that's being used to run Overwatch League and Call of Duty League. And that's very worrying, especially whatever the money Coke and T-Mobile and State Farm were putting in, which could potentially be cut off. And we know T-Mobile is gone. It's really sad. Really, really sad. This was the article, though, on Twitch. Not on Twitch, sorry, on competitive Overwatch on Reddit. But it's like this. I think a lot of people got kind of confused here, saying that the sponsorship has been terminated. It hasn't, but Coke and State Farm are stepping back, and it probably looks like they will probably do something as they probably will terminate, but it isn't set in stone yet, and I hope they don't because clearly the league needs it. You can see people talking here, going like, "What sponsors do they still have? Cheez-It and Pringles." I don't see why those would stay, so I fear that next season, if it happens, is going to be pretty rough. And if you read through this, it's again like the same sort of thing with Overwatch League, where everyone seems to be down on it. But I kind of don't want to be down on Overwatch League because I think, yeah, it's suffering. It's really suffering. But this year has been the best. It's been the best produced Overwatch League we've had, and it's really sad to see these things happening. And again, a lot of this is nothing to do with Overwatch League. It's just what's going on at Blizzard, and okay, they own Overwatch League and blah and all of that stuff. We could also have a wider debate as well about Overwatch League's impact on just. I think does it state in here? I'm not sure if it states here, but in fact, maybe it's one of these tweets that I pulled up. Yeah. So this tweet from Halo. Now, Halo is an esports reporter. And this is what I want to talk about, the viewing figure situation. So Halo says, I started my journey into esports with Owl, and my God, it is frustrating to see how badly the league has been mismanaged. From viewing rights and dwindling viewership to the way the balancing has happened in the game, the league's format, etc., and how the company treats its staff. It started off so well, it had been managed as it should. Had it been managed as it should, Owl wouldn't be a shell of itself just 4 years ago. It really shouldn't be like this. And he says, how the fuck do you go from 100,000 viewing figures in 2018 to 45k if you're lucky? Now, this is the thing that I kind of want to talk about. This is, this runs in parallel with the game. Like, the interest in the game. I can talk as an absolute unequivocal authority on this and tell you right now, and you guys know this as well, in 2017, in 2018, I would upload Overwatch videos. They would get 200, 300,000 views each video, tons of views. Overanalyzed, they'd get millions of views. These videos were pumping, doing tons of views. Everybody loves Overwatch. They're all playing it. You fast forward now, I'm lucky if I get 50 or 60,000 views on an Overanalyzed. I'm lucky if I get 100,000 views. That will be a major result. But most of the time, it'd be 50,000 views per video, which is still totally fine. And I make these videos because I just like Overwatch. I can't stress you guys how much I like Overwatch. It's like, but it's declined because there isn't content in the game. This is because they're making Overwatch 2. We all know this. But what happens is you've got this stagnation, and it's stagnation built into the wider community. So if you're not playing Overwatch, why the hell would you watch Overwatch League? You would not do it. You just wouldn't. There's going to be very rare cases where there are people out there that are going, hey, I'm going to watch Overwatch League. The problem with Overwatch League and Overwatch as an entire thing is it is super difficult to watch. It's very busy on the screen. Loads of stuff is going on. Now, we know this is being addressed in Overwatch 2 because they're reducing the number of players in the team, so it goes from 6 to 5. But right now, sometimes it can be a bit of a clown fiesta. What I'm trying to say is you need to play Overwatch to understand what's going on. And even then you might struggle, but you need to play Overwatch. And if you're not playing Overwatch because the game's been stale for so long, why the hell would you watch Overwatch League? So the fact that viewing figures go down makes sense. But of course, there's all kinds of stuff, right? There's things like the move from Twitch to YouTube doesn't help, all of this stuff. So it just really frustrates me. Then we get this tweet off Monty, and I kind of I did like this tweet. Well, not technically like it, but liked it in the sense of what he was getting at. So Monty, very outspoken on Overwatch League, obviously worked with Blizzard for the start of Overwatch League and a couple of seasons after, then stepped away. And he says the irony is that the pandemic actually saved Owl in many ways. This is in response to this tweet, which says the fact season 3 was going to be a full regular season, boring traditional sports format still makes me laugh. Now, if you guys remember, it never used to be how it is now, Overwatch League. So Overwatch League has these mini tournaments all throughout the year. Then we have the finals. That's great. That's how Call of Duty League is done. It makes them more interesting. But in the years before, it was done like a traditional sports league where all the teams were just in a league and they just played each other. And there was a lot of games that didn't mean anything. It was boring as hell. And you're only waiting for the playoffs, basically, or like the stage finals that they'd hold. It wasn't great. COVID comes in and basically shuts the world down. And I was gutted for this because I can talk about this. So not Blizzard. I was working with Cloud9 at the time on London Spitfire. And it was in 2018 and then into the start of 2019. Maybe I'm getting confused on the dates. It's not 2020. It's 2021 now. 2020 was COVID. Start of 2020. Yeah. I think it was start of 2020. I always get confused with 2019 and 2020. Basically, we were doing live. We were going to do a live events for Spitfire. All the Overwatch League teams are doing homestands, and ours was going to be the first one in Wembley Stadium, not actual football stadium, Wembley Arena, sorry, which is next to Wembley Stadium. It's still a big venue, and we had all these cool things planned. I was going to be involved in it. I was actually probably going to be the host of that event, and there was loads of stuff that we were doing, and we were really looking forward to that. And then we get the call in March of 2020, I think it was, saying that hey. It's all over because COVID is here, which obviously, rightfully so. We're not doing any of these homestands, and then suddenly you see a lot of the teams just pull back. They've put a load of money into running these events. They've lost a lot of that money. They can no longer afford to really run their Overwatch League teams. They were all banking on homestands being great so they could make revenue off ticket sales, and that didn't go ahead. Only a few teams managed to do it. And then it all starts falling apart. But what Monty's saying is the irony is that the pandemic actually saved Owl in many ways. What he means is with the format change, it probably meant that more people started watching Overwatch League, and also by extension, just because people were in their homes more often and not actually going out into the world because of lockdowns, they were watching more stuff on their computers and their phones and whatever, so they're watching more Overwatch League. And it's like, well, yeah, it makes sense. But maybe it was just a band-aid that was only really going to last for a while, and we're now starting to see it kind of come off. But I don't know. I think, Overwatch League, in terms of its viewership, even if it was getting 40,000 viewers a stream, I think that's still kind of okay. That's still an okay esport. It doesn't have to be hundreds of thousands like League of Legends, or millions, I guess, like League of Legends. Maybe I'm, again, huffing the copium and the hopium going like, oh, I love Overwatch League. But I just, like, Blizzard have got to do something about this. And I hope this doesn't result in the league just getting shut down. Okay. Let's move on from this. I kind of, we sort of spoke about this, didn't we? We spoke about these sponsors going, which would be super sad if they all start going, because then I don't know what the financial situation of the league is, because remember, everyone was supposed to be making money, and everyone being the team owners off their homestands. But without the homestands, like what? Surely their money's just coming from these guys, and if they pull out, then what are the teams going to do? Are they just going to downscale? Are they just going to start getting rid of their teams? Okay, let's talk about some Overwatch patch notes. So, wow. I just want some positive news. Come on! Right then. This is basically the experimental patch has gone live, which I don't think anyone was really shocked, will be shocked by the fact this has gone live. So Doomfist changed. The accelerated cooldown times will enable more fluidity with setting up Doomfist combos when using the Meteor Strike ultimate. So what this means is when you use Meteor Strike, all of your cooldowns are basically reduced by 100%. So the cooldowns are faster. So you can combo all your abilities, then you can use Meteor Strike, reposition yourself, come straight down, and then you can use all your abilities again, pretty much. That's a massive buff to Doomfist. I'm not really sure why they've done this to Doomfist beyond the fact that he kind of is weak right now, but I don't think it's because of his kit. I think it's more to do with other heroes that are strong. It's more to do with like how McCree can just absolutely wreck him, and the way other support heroes interact with other heroes to prevent Doomfist doing what he's doing. But let it be known, Doomfist can still destroy a team. If you don't counter Doomfist, you just get punished. He's just that. He's that feast or famine hero. He's either going to roll the enemy team or he's not. In a lot of ways, it's similar to Bastion, where if you've just got a, Bastion on the payload, then the enemy team don't do anything about it. You can just roll through, and it's like, well, that was easy. This hero's OP. But obviously, it's not. The enemy team didn't counter it. So the Doomfist one, I don't know. But let's move on to the Genji one, because this is the meme change. And actually, in the patch note video I made a while back on the experimental patches, I started it with a bit of sarcasm, but I probably should have been quite clear, because I was like, oh yeah, this is a huge, massive Genji buff. No, what I meant is it's just 1 damage. But I did try to explain it in terms of what it meant for Genji. So basically, Genji now does 29 damage per shuriken, and Dragon Blade goes down by 10 damage, which actually is kind of a heavy nerf, because if you're getting nano boosted, or Mercy damage boosted, or Bongo boosted, or whatever, you're not doing as much damage as you used to do. And like Junkrat is basically doing more damage if he hits you with a direct hit than a Dragon Blade swipe. But remember, you're swiping, you're dashing through, you're doing a lot of stuff, so it's still decent. But the big thing is that his shuriken means that he can do two primary attacks, or maybe it was just one primary attack. No, 2 primary attacks and then a melee, and you will kill that target. Whereas on live, he could do 2 primary attacks and melee, and the target wouldn't die, but now they would die. Or maybe it was just 1 primary attack. What I mean is he fires 3 shurikens into the headshot, and then melees, he could basically kill that target. It might be 2, though. Don't quote me on that. I totally forgot. Okay, but yeah, it's a Genji buff. Will it make a big difference? I don't know. I think it will when it comes to dueling the 200 HP heroes in the game. But 250 HP heroes, it kind of doesn't make that much of a difference to them, because that's still probably going to be McCree or Mei, and they're still probably going to kill Genji. Oh dear. Moira, this was the one that really weirded me out. So self-healing has been increased from 20 to 24. Now the thing with this is, this makes Moira just way better at every level of the game, apart from like Masters and above, essentially. Maybe even Diamond and above. At all the other levels, she's just better. She's just better. She can take on the Tracers and the Genjis, and it's just weird. This seems to me that maybe Blizzard are potentially reading the wrong data, because they're saying Moira's recently underperformed a bit. This increase to her self-healing with Bardic Grasp will help improve her survivability when in range to recharge her healing resources. So, I don't know, like it just, maybe they're looking at high level play, and maybe that's another thing you could level at Blizzard. Maybe not balance your game exclusively for high level stuff all the time, which granted they don't do. There have been patches which address heroes at various skill levels, but still, it's a weird one. The Roadhog one, though, as I did allude to, is kind of like an Overwatch 2 style of tank change. They basically made him generate 25% less ult charge when you damage him. So if you shoot him, he's less of an ult battery because Roadhog tanks with his body. So he's running around in front of your team, taking damage. You're not getting tons of ult charge, which you can then just unleash into the enemy team. You're getting 25% less. So it's actually kind of a nice buff for Hog, and it means that maybe we see more as like a tank instead of just being used as this big, fat, flanking DPS that one-shots everyone. I don't know. Soldier, this is one that was close to my heart. I do like this one, just because any buff to Soldier makes me happy. And I honestly do not care about losing healing and getting more damage as Soldier, because his healing is okay, but it's like, it's just supplementary if you get dove upon, or you just need to top your health up because you're going on some mad flank, basically. Anyway, this is what they're doing. Damage has been increased by 1. Again, it's 1, but with Soldier, this is obviously much more impactful because he's got way more bullets. Whereas if you compare it to Genji, Genji's only firing 3 shurikens at a time. Soldier is spamming out his ammo and he can do tons of damage. The best way to look at this is if you land 10 body shots on a 200 HP target, you kill it. Before, it would take more than 10. So it's easy to kill targets. Obviously, if you hit them in the head, you'll get the head, or in the crit box, you get the crit damage loaded on top, so you kill them faster. But straight up body shots, this is much better for Soldier. And I don't mind losing 5 health per second off his heal for this. I think this is fine. The thing with this is, though, Soldier might get really powerful because, remember, this is Soldier with his new weapon spread, or recoil, I guess, where they changed the way his weapon works. So now you're just controlling recoil and you are going fully auto. You're not doing the burst fire of Soldier of years ago where you were trying to control the spread or the bloom. You're just going fully auto all the time now. So, yeah, this is a really big buff, I think, to Soldier. We might see more of him getting played. And Wrecking Ball, this is the weird one. So Wrecking Ball is like, it's a bit of a nerf, but then also a bit of a buff here to Wrecking Ball. So the nerf component is Grappling Claw now begins on cooldown after respawning. And I think this is actually kind of an elegant way of solving Ball just rolling out of the spawn dead quick and contesting over and over again. Volskaya is always the one that, I mean, I do this. I'm terrible for this myself. But like, I'll straight up pick Ball, rush out of the spawn, you grapple straight away, you swing around on the point, they kill you, you respawn, you do it again, you just keep doing it over and over again. You can't do that anymore because your grapple is not available when you respawn. So this is good because Wrecking Ball contesting the point endlessly is kind of crap. Now, Adaptive Shields gets buffed. So the cast time has been reduced from 0.2 to 0 seconds. So this is now instant. You could argue that 0.2 is pretty much instant anyway, but now it is instant. And duration is increased from 7 to 9 seconds. So now you've got more time to get in and do what you need to do. What I would say, though, is generally 7 seconds of full shields rolling around in the enemy team. They're probably going to pile enough damage into you to get rid of the shields, but now you've got a few more seconds to maybe outlast or survive. Or maybe you can do other things like engage, pop your shields, disengage, find a different target, and still have shields left to take them on. So this is quite a nice little buff, in a way, for Wrecking Ball. And then the last one is, I don't want to say a quality of life fix, because this is actually a pretty decent fix to Minefield. So it changes his ultimate, and the mines no longer stick onto walls. What they will do is just fall off the walls. So I think on Gibraltar, I remember popping the mines inside the door by the first point, you know, when you go down a step to it, and all the mines just got stuck in the door frame. I was like, well, that's kind of embarrassing. But now that wouldn't happen. They would just drop down onto the floor. Obviously, Ilios Lighthouse is the example of this, where if you drop them from the top of that, they just spread out over the point now instead of all getting bunched up in the top. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, in terms of content coming to the channel, there probably will be some more of the like spectating stuff coming, which is basically overanalyzed and basically guess the rank, but there will be overanalyzed and all that stuff. I am looking at making more of that because recently I got some really good news that my medication for my health stuff is working out, so that is good stuff, and I'm getting much better, and they reckon that by maybe late November, I should be in a really good place and pretty much be back to normal. Can't wait for that. The other stuff I've been working on, because suddenly now I've got loads of energy, is I probably am going to start redeveloping my other channel. So get over and subscribe to Stylosa Plays. It's actually in the channel, like other channel links in the main YouTube channel, as you guys watching this video. But get over there and check that out. I think I can put a link on the video as well. Yeah, I'm probably going to start putting Apex Legends up on that channel, if I'm totally honest. I'm really digging that game right now. Super enjoyable. And apart from that, I've got loads of other mad ideas. Like, I've always wanted to do a podcast and all kinds of stuff. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But all right, guys, thanks for watching the video. And I will catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.